I just got done watching Wednesday, season two. Thought I'd put uh a video up. Uh I wanna talk about something real quick, and this is gonna be quick. I wanna offer my condolences to Charlie Kirk and his family. That senseless assassination of his wife and his two kids was there. Uh I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I've been messed up the last couple of days. I ain't been wanting to drop a video because that's kind of messed me up. Just I thought it was a joke until I just kept looking. I actually said something to God. I was like, God, why did I see that on YouTube? I thought it was a joke at first. I just thought it maybe it's some kind of AI thing or something. Maybe it's just, but I don't know what made me think it was. It just bothered me. And I also want to say it's September 11th, and we need to remember all the people that was affected from that horrific day back in 2001. I believe it was 2001 when we had that tragic of the Twin Towers and the Pentagon and the plane out there in the field in Pennsylvania. So, God rest their souls, and God bless all the families that was affected from that day. And all of us was affected from that horrible day. I remember I was worried about my kids. They were in school. They're all in their 30s now, but I couldn't wait to see them. I was so glad to see all three of my boys, and then my daughter was with her mom and stepdad, and then my son that found me, I don't know what he was doing, but he located me years later. God bless that young man for locating his dad. I can't believe he found me. I didn't know he existed. But anyway, guys, I've been a little messed up last couple of days. I was wanting to put a video up yesterday, but I didn't want to because I was so that just really bothered me. you so you know, God bless his wife and the two kids and everybody that's affected of that happened. And I'm not gonna lie, it did bother me. It bothered me a lot. I didn't follow Charlie Kirk too much. I seen him here and there, and I thought it made a lot of sense. What I liked about him was the fact that he would listen to you. He would listen to you. He never yelled at you, pointed at you, or anything. He would take your, I just started seeing him last about a year ago, and I was like, man, who's this guy? And I was like, oh, this guy's pretty sharp. And there's a lot of people out there I see every now and then. I'm like, oh, this guy's pretty sharp. I never really followed him, but to be killed because of an opinion uh, is something that just I just I'm just shocked by it. That's all. And yeah, I could tell you guys that it's kicking my butt. It's kicking my butt. I have been on my hands and knees praying to God about the whole thing, and I'm just sharing with you guys that I'm just telling y'all that you know y'all believe in God out there, man. Let's pray for his wife and his two little kids because they were in the crowd when he got shot and killed. Because I was like, I was saying to myself, this is the same guy that just. Yeah, I know I've seen videos of him talking to people, but I've never seen him. He had an opinion. To get killed over an opinion. And then, we have to take in consideration, also on remember it's September 11th. I was actually in the gym working out. I was going to work out, and I was sitting there and I was bothered by this assassination, Charlie Kirk, that it's just I've been, really praying to God the last couple of days, man. And if you guys don't believe in God, that's fine. I'm just speaking on my faith. And I was getting ready to work out, and I said, "Man, Lord, I also want to remember that horrific day back in 2001 when that 9/11 thing, man. That's just, people still could be, it's a heck of a thing to deal with. I remember that day so well. It was a horrific day, and then, you know, I think Charlie Kirk got assassinated yesterday. So, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it's been messing me up. So anyway, just want to put a little remembrance of Charlie Kirk and his family and everybody that's affected from that. All of us, people left and right, whatever you're on, it's senseless, and you know, and all the people that were involved, that we have to remember September 11th also. But anyway, I'm going 4 minutes. Just want to put that out there. Uh, but I did watch Wednesday, and I don't know how they did it. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I don't know how they did it, but I was looking for Wednesday to be kind of bad because of the fact that even though I enjoyed what I watched, how Netflix, splits them up like they're doing Stranger Things. But so we always in love with Wednesday because it was such a breakout hit. Jenny Ortega's got that. She has done such a good job. I just hope she doesn't get typecast. I hope she doesn't get typecast, but I don't think she will. Anyway, everybody, this letting letting her family in a little bit more because they were kind of like in the outskirts of the first season, but they were front and center in this one. And that new girl with the red hair, that was doing the little, the invisible chick, she was a great addition. And then you had the singing chick, that one chick that's a singer for real. She was in it. I can't think of her name. I was like, oh man, she's in there. Uh, but after I watched it last night, because because it was like it's 9 something right now, and I need to get to bed at least about a half hour, right? So I'm like, all right, Vic, it's 9:10. I said to myself. So uh, I was trying to watch something to kind of lighten my mood because I ain't gonna lie, I've been messed up over this Charlie Kirk thing. But I uh, I was like, uh, I was getting into it and it was lighting up my mood. And I was like, man, I said, man, I'm gonna watch this. It said last episode, one more episode to go. I have Netflix says one more episode. So I decided to watch it. And the climax was good. It didn't fall. It didn't let me down or anything like that. That freaked me out though. That hand belonged to that dude. The hand, that walking hand, that the Adams. There was a backstory to the hand. Whoever would thought that? Uh, uh, the Wednesday's son. I mean Wednesday's brother. And then I love the girl that's Wednesday's best friend. She ended up being an alpha male, not an alpha male, but an alpha. They call these werewolves alpha. Yeah, and she ended up having to sacrifice, turning and staying a alpha werewolf because the other werewolves would hunt the alpha. That was pretty slick setup. Uh, what else? It was pretty slick, man. I ain't gonna lie. Last night, man, when I was watching, I sit there and said to myself, "All right, Netflix, and all right, Tim Burton, you guys did a good job." Because I was hearing people say that they didn't really care for season 2, even though every time you look at the ratings of you know how many minutes is being watched on Netflix, it's up there. I said, well, for something that's up there, and people, what they doing, hate watching it? I wouldn't hate watching it, cause I ain't gonna lie, I was actually thinking that I was like, man, I know I'm not gonna like this as much as first season Wednesday, because Wednesday's not. But Wednesday really was front and center in season 2. They just let the family in, and everybody that was connected in the family, all the new people and all the people, some of the people that came back. There was one character I kind of wish that came back, the love interest guy that was with the first season. Because you had the guy that his mom was one of those things that turned into, I forgot what they turned into. That's what basically this last season was about. And that's why that brother had to, because you found out that Wednesday's dad doesn't have any ability, but he used to have the electric ability his son had. But he lost it when uh, that one guy was trying to save his sister, and I forgot what they turned into. It looked like them big creatures they turned into. It was pretty slick how they did all that. But overall, you guys, this is really good. I ain't gonna lie, I like it just as well as season 1. And what's cool about it is I can actually watch season 1 and I can watch season 2 like right in a row. It doesn't bother me none. Actually, I got season 1 on disc. And because when I buy physical stuff, sometimes I turn off my streaming services, so I have like physical copies I could pop in my Blu-rays and stuff, my 4K players or PlayStation 5 or whatever, Xbox Series X. What else was I going to say about this so I can wrap it up? Uh, I was just really impressed with the fact that they had all these people on this series. Uh, and I thought that they did a good job with everybody that they crammed in the series. Because, you know, I wanted to watch something, but I was just kind of messed up over how, how with the Charlie Kirk thing. And I was just like, man, when I heard that, I was like, wow, why would somebody do that? That's my thing about the whole thing. But so I started watching it. I really got into it. But after it was done, it was 9:30, and I was like, man, you need to brush your teeth and go to bed. So after I got done, I said, and they're going to come out with a season 3. But I'm just telling you that I thought everybody was okay. There was not one thing in here that, oh, well, I think that's so and so, it wouldn't matter. Well, I thought what's your name was a letdown. There is no letdown here whatsoever. That's why I enjoy watching movies. I also like the fact that they didn't have no love interest in Wednesday. They put that on the back burner. I kind of like that sometimes because here's the reason why. Some of us are single out here, and sometimes, I had a woman ask me the other day. She goes, How come you ain't got no woman?" And right now, man, I just ain't in the mood to have a woman, man. I'm doing pretty good by myself, thank God. But what I'm just using that as an example. There's just some people out there, man, that just are single. They're just, they're content with their life. I've had a lot of relationships, and most of them didn't work out. But God bless all those girls, but moms too. But the thing is, I like the fact that Wednesday didn't have no love interest, the love triangle thing. And Wednesday's best friend, they did a real good job with that because the guy that she liked, she didn't like him no more. But then he told her at the end, he goes, man, I accepted the fact that you don't like me no more. She goes, I'm cool with you being friends. And I said to myself, I was watching, I said, yeah, that's cool. You want to be friends with her. Don't be getting friend zoned. Because a lot of girls like to friend zone you. So I said to myself, I said, yeah, that's cool that you just told him, say, hey, I'm cool with the fact that you don't like me no more like that. But I'm gonna I'm gonna deal with this and we can be friends and stuff like that. But I did say when I was sitting in this chair, I said, yeah, but don't let her friend zone you, because a lot of girls are friend zone you and be out there messing with all kind of dudes. But I like that part where he said that. I thought that was classy. I also thought when the girl popped up, because he had a little cute girlfriend, the one that Wednesday's roommate. I think that girl's she's so cute and bubbly. I love her character, and she really liked that guy. And then when they was at that party, his girlfriend finally showed up, and then she just looked and she's like, and then they both looked at each other, and they did such a good job. She goes, no, no, no. She goes, I don't want to be the bad person in this story. And then the girl that was there, she was very classy. And then she walked by her and she goes, you look cute in your dress, by the way. Class. Just class. Instead of all this bickering and being mad and holding grudges. And then the girl looked at her like this, and I'm glad they showed her character because you didn't know who she was. And then I think the guy did a good job. Because I think he did like that girl, but he still has heart for his girlfriend. But then I don't know if they're going to do anything with that or not, but I like how they handled that whole scene. So, I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. Like I say, you guys, I ain't lying. I've been messed up over this thing that happened yesterday with Charlie Kirk. And it's the fact that his two kids and his wife was sitting there and seen that. Man, I ain't gonna lie, you guys, that messed me up. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, man. That messed me up. I ain't gonna lie. So, anyway, I just thought I'd give you a little thing about Wednesday season 2. I really think Wednesday season 2 is just as good as Wednesday season 1. I really do. Reason why is because a lot of times when you try to do a season 2 because season 1 was so big, the only one, like I like From FROM MGM Plus. From don't come out till next year. But every year it gets better. Now, season 1 from was awesome. Season 2 was good. Season 3 was really good. Now I got season 4 coming up. That's from. So when Netflix did the Stranger Things, man, they just got better and better and better and better and better. All right, man. I don't think I liked season 3 as much. When they tried to introduce those new characters and stuff, it didn't work out. It was all right, but it wasn't that bad. But but man, Stranger Things, they just kept going with the quality. So, and they're going with the quality with Wednesday, because I was like, dang, man. I was sitting in this chair and I was like, man, this is a pretty good show. I'm impressed because, again, in closing, when you have that many people on the screen at one time, and to be able to flush that story out like that, and Wednesday's mom and dad, I ain't even gonna try to figure out the names. They had more. And I know it had to cost a little bit more to have them on set, because it costs more to have all those people in there. And then Wednesday's grandma, and then that singer, I can't think of her name. Y'all know who that famous singer. She was the one that was in that went to and she turned around and I was like, whoa, man, that's what's your name. I was like, man, they did a good job, man. Dang good job, man. I apologize to you guys for talking about that stuff earlier. I ain't lying. I've been doing a lot of praying to God, man, because this, and then it's September 11th today, too. So, I forgot I was in the gym room working out. So I prayed to God about, people that was affected from 9/11, because we all was affected from that. But God bless, Charlie Kirk and his family and his 2 little kids that seen that, and everybody else that's seen that, and all of us that do care. I know there's a lot of people that's been celebrating his death, which is kind of sickening, but there's a lot of things in this world, you guys, I'm just going to share with you. Even if I don't care for you, I don't want to take your life. Even if you disagree with me and you make me mad, I just to take somebody's life because you're mad at them, because they just have an opinion. That's just too much for me. So anyway, God bless each and every one of y'all. Y'all be safe out there. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish off on. I wanted to watch Halloween, but I was watching some YouTube videos. But anyway, I put this video up in remembrance of Charlie Kirk's life, and Lord, may you bless his. Lay your hands on his wife and his 2 kids and everybody that's affected that, and all of us in America that witnessed that. Some people seen that. I didn't want to watch the film of him getting shot. I said, I'm not watching it. And then, September 11th. It's September 11th. And we need to remember the people that lost their lives on that day. And all of us in America that was affected by that as well. But in closing, man, I am shocked. But, what I do like, though, is season 3 is going to come out. And I was trying to sit there going like this. I said, man, what can they do with season 3? Here's what I hope. I hope, and that black chick that did that one black chick that did the thing with her mouth where she had the real crazy looking eyes. I love they did a good job with her and her mom. There was a thing about her and her mom. The new person that took over where that tall blonde chick got killed in the first one, he did all right. He ended up being the villain. Guys, there's so many things in season 2 that I was impressed with, due to the fact that they crammed all those people in and all them, in season 2, where it was just Wednesday and her little roommate. But man, I thought everybody was good in this, man. Everybody. I was shockingly, because I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting in this chair yesterday going like this, like, man, this is over with, and this was pretty good. Now I know there's gonna be a lot of people probably say, well, I didn't care for season 1's much better. And that's your opinion, But, after season 1, I was like, man, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. And then I did hear rumors on I heard rumors on YouTube. I heard some people say that a lot of people don't really like season 2 because it's not all about Wednesday. They put too much of the parents and and her brother, and uh, they brought a lot of people back. But my favorite, but that little redhead though, man, she's my favorite, man. I love the girl though. And then that dance sequence they had, and you know, and all that Invisible Girl was wanting to be. Oh, my favorite part though is when they got something happened. Not something happened. When Wednesday, oh, when they had that climax at that shindig, uh when that Invisible Girl took that thing off that guy, he was the head thing. He talked Wednesday's grandma into giving him all that money. And he did that. Invisible Girl was doing that dance routine with that Wednesday's roommate, and they took that thing off of him, and then give it to that black girl. And that black girl, when she went up there, I gotta make a speech. And then when she took that thing, he seen he didn't have it. Then she looked at him and made him. He got up there and started telling the truth, man. I was he was sitting there like, what the, and he couldn't stop, man. And then, you know, that climax was pretty good. Uh, but I love when that redhead told she you know, she appeared to Wednesday beside Wednesday's roommate, and she looked at Wednesday. She goes, "I don't care what you think of me anymore." And Wednesday's like, "Good." And Wednesday said it like, hey, you should be yourself anyway. You should just be who you are, because Wednesday's roommate can't stand her, but then at the end, you know, she kind of got trying to get to understand. She goes, you know, you need to just, because she caught her crying because Wednesday's roommate was upset over that guy and the girl, and she kind of walked away from that, and then she went in there and tried to sit down and just get her, and then she heard the Invisible Girl crying, and she, you know, she told her, because, you know, your best quality is just being who you are. So there's a lot of good things in here, you guys. You know, I don't even know if anybody's gonna watch this video, but you know what? It is what it is, you know. But I guess that's all I got, you guys. So anyway, be safe out there. Please be safe. Be safe, and God bless each and every one of you. And we'll catch you in the next video. I'm going to finish Halloween now, and I am going to put a video up of my favorite Friday the 13th. I ain't never did that. You know why I don't do that? Because I just don't get into the fact that, oh, here's my rankings, because all the YouTubers do that. Here's my rankings and stuff. I've done it too, but I don't get into it because everybody does it. It's like The Conjuring. Conjuring came out there with the last right. The next day, man, all the big YouTubers had their little review up. And then next thing you know, they had their little rankings. But I never really told people what was my favorite Friday the 13th, but obviously it's the first one. I never tell people what my favorite Halloween is. Obviously, it's the first one. But I gotta start putting them in a row now. But after watching Halloween Resurrection, Michael Resurrection, I think, The Curse of Michael Myers, yeah. Shoot, man, that's up there. I ain't gonna name them off right now though. But anyway, and then I was at work in closing, because I know ain't nobody hardly watching these videos. But anyway, in closing, I was talking to this guy at work named Ryan. Ryan's this redhead guy, man. He's got red hair. He's kind of loud, man. He's like 43 years old. He was talking about, man, I'm in the mood for some clown movies. I said, yeah, man, I think I'm gonna watch a clown movie too. So I got Clown in the Cornfield, which I was surprisingly was good. A couple of elements in there I didn't care for. And he's like, man, I'm in the mood. He said, you know what? He said, I think I'm gonna watch Clowns in the Cornfield. Then I'm gonna watch. No, if I don't watch, I'm gonna watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I got Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So I said to myself, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a rankings of my favorite clown movies. And no, Art the Clown ain't in there. Everybody told me about Art the Clown, so I tried to watch. I was like, what in the world is I couldn't get into it at all. Period. I don't know why. It's just some movies just don't resonate with me. That one didn't resonate with me. Art the Clown just don't do it for me, man. But you know what? If I was to rank the clowns, man, I'd probably put Killer Clowns from Outer Space number one. Well, I'd probably put It, the clown from It. Pennywise, I'd probably put him at number two. Pennywise is a trip, man. And then there's a couple other clown movies. But anyway, we'll catch y'all in the next video. We'll see you.